Hey guys, it's Miss Gephardt, and we're going to do a little bit of information on biotechnology. So, how about your notes? And let's get rolling. All right, so let's talk about what biotechnology is. So, you have to think of biotechnology in terms of a laboratory, like a scientist in a lab. We're going to have organisms, they're going to use them for some kind of product or purpose that helps us out. Okay, so we might use it in food, we might use it in medicines to help fight diseases, but to help make more of those medicines. Even in terms of making our planet healthier, they use sometimes the bacteria to help eat away at oil during oil spills. So it's used to help generally, have a helpful a purpose behind it. So biotech, just the term that understanding of cells, proteins, genes, um, biological sciences. So this is kind of where biotechnology comes from. It's going to be grounded in your life sciences. Okay. It's not just one technology, but many. So think about ways to cure cancer, getting plastic from corn, microorganisms for oil spills, drought-resistant crops, stem cell. So it covers the gambit in terms of things that we can use biotechnology for. Okay. So let's talk about one use, fighting disease. So let's start with fighting disease as our first look into biotechnology. So we get faster diagnosis of whatever kind of disease. Think about strep throat. You used to have to take days. You have to send your strep culture out, and it would take days to find out if you had strep throat. Now they put it in a little thing, takes minutes. Okay, simple blood tests and surgeries, and for cancer, you don't have to worry about that surgery. Just a blood test, find out if you've got something. So these are just things that have helped and improved in terms of biotechnology. First treatment for multiple sclerosis, therapies for cystic fibrosis. These are possible new treatments and things out there. Think about in the future if you have defective genes that cause some kind of, could be maybe a muscle spasm, it could be a limpness, it could be anything. We could go into replacing those genes so that you don't have that damage. Or think about a person who has been injured, spinal cord injury, replacing those damaged cells with new nerve cells so they can gain control. These are the possibilities that are out there with biotechnology and are being researched on currently. All right, better prevention. So we've got new vaccines to help prevent things like hepatitis and meningitis and influenza. Vaccines in food may eliminate the need for a trip to the doctor and a shot. That's, if you could put the vaccine in a food that you eat every day, or one time, whatever, you wouldn't even have to kind of go to the doctor anymore. That's a very futuristic, but it's not too far off the mark. All right. Second thing to think about, feeding the world. That's a huge thing. Think about being able to create crops that are sustainable in areas of the world that maybe it's hard to have sustainable crops. That's, a hardier crop, providing more. Think about that. Resistance to insects and diseases and weather. And we could feed millions of starving people just by changing how that crop interacts with the conditions or anything like that. Healthier animals, vaccinations to help keep parasites and infections under control, breeding animals naturally resistant to these parasites, so then we don't have to deal with these maybe cows or sheep or chickens, pigs, whatever, having to deal with that. And having to deal with the death that can come, and they can spread those diseases very easily to each other. If we have a way of sort of getting those parasites or infections under control with them, that opens up a world of possibilities. Better foods, so ripen on the vine for a better flavor, could last longer in shipping. That's a big deal, so that when the farmer picks it, it doesn't ripen and go bad in the process of getting from the farmer to the grocery store. Safer by reducing the occurrence of toxins and allergens. So things that, think about people having allergens to foods, peanuts, things of that nature. You could do things to work it so that one piece that causes the allergen could be taken out. That's a huge deal. Opens up the world for people. Helping farmers. Think about farmlands. If we could make ways that help the land turn over with the crops, that's a big deal. These farmers don't have to worry about completely killing out the field. Deforestation, that's a big deal. We don't want the forests to die. Finding ways to help these plants maybe grow quicker or be resistant so that we don't have to go through death of the trees, because watch the Lorax, y'all. You need the trees. Fueling the future. So let's talk about new fuels. Designer enzymes from biolabs. So enzymes, these are just, things that speed things up, okay? Used to make better fuels, okay? Made from plant material, can be used in place of gasoline. Our dependence on gasoline could go down drastically, and that's good because gasoline is a non-renewable resource. When it is up, it is up. When it's done, it's done. But if we can use things that are not that are renewable, that we can constantly have, that's a big deal. Okay, that's going to help us in the future. I mean, think about just not now. I mean, think about 10, 15, 20, 50 years from now. Cleaner fuel and environmentally safe. We want to help the environment because if we continue to trash it, it's only going to continue to get trashed. We have to do something, and producing cleaner fuels and more uh, environmentally safe fuels, that's going to be better. Okay, new materials. So researchers have genetically engineered cells so that they can use sugars instead of petroleum to create plastics. That's amazing. So we have green plastics. They will biodegrade. They will break down naturally. So instead of these huge landfills where there's just garbage everywhere that doesn't break down, we have stuff that can break down. Think about it. Clothing, bedding, I mean, it would break down over time. I mean, not like you're going to be wearing your shirt and all of a sudden it's going to break down off of your body, but we're talking over time, it would slowly decay, which is good. Plastic bottles, this, it ain't going anywhere. It'll be here centuries from now because it cannot biodegrade, but that will. All right, water, air, and soil. Plants and bacteria can be used to safely clean up stuff. Use them to get rid of pollutants in the air or in the water. That's a good thing. So we don't have to worry about massive spills of things because we can put this thing, bacteria in there, and they'll clean it up, or use plants to clean them up. All right. So growing the economy, economic impact. Look at this. I mean, total impact is a lot of jobs, a lot of money in business, a lot of tax revenue. This is good. Those money amounts that you see, those are good for North Carolina. Okay. And it's a field of industry that you guys can all enter into. There's a lot of interesting jobs in biotechnology, and they make pretty good money. Okay, so, I mean, it's there. All that research we went through, people are researching how to do it better, do it more efficient, to do it more environmentally friendly. Okay? So think about it. Biotechnology, we're using organisms to help us in some kind of purpose, okay, to make it so that we can make our lives a little bit better. If you have any questions, please make sure you see your teacher, and this will be it for today.